All right, last story that we want to cover this week is Elon Musk. It's probably week 2 into him making his attempt to acquire Twitter. I think he's a self-described meme god, but he said in a statement after initially making the offer to buy Twitter, I think at $52 a share.
Mm-hmm.
He said, quote, having a public platform that is maximally trusted and broadly inclusive is extremely important to the future of civilization. I don't care about the economics at all. And as of Thursday, Friday afternoon, it was reported that Elon Musk said that he was going to pay $21 billion himself. Morgan Stanley and some other banks has submitted a letter saying that they've, offering 13 million in loans to Twitter. Second offer is at 12.5 billion personal loan against Musk's Tesla stock, which is kind of interesting. And all this was announced on 420, which, Musk likes that, kind of April 20th type stuff. But there's been kind of a mixed bag of reaction for Musk and Twitter. You've got one side that absolutely loves it, and agree with him that we do need, freedom of speech. We need to get rid of spam bots. We need to verify people on the platform. And then you have other people who suggest that Elon Musk taking over Twitter is dangerous.
I agree.
Where do you guys stand?
I agree, because when he was posting stuff on Twitter, it didn't make sense sometimes. But what I do like about all of this is this so-called poison pill that's been implemented that makes it harder for him or anybody else to buy or take controlling stake of the company without its approval, because that lets us know that they're concerned as well about what's about to take place. To me, I think it's a control thing. He wants to do what he wants to do when he gets ready. And he can say what he wants to say when he gets ready, but he can control what other people say when he gets ready too. It's sort of like y'all's President Trump.
Y'all's?
Yeah, I'm gonna give him to y'all.
He was your president too.
No, he wasn't. I ain't vote for him.
He's still your president. Are you an
He
American
is the
citizen?
United States. Yeah.
I'm giving
Whether you agree with him or not, he's still president.
Yeah.
Was president. He's not current president.
Just like you might not like the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, he's still your quarterback.
But think about it. He if you think about what he's really trying to do, it's a power play too. So where you
He's
think
already
he's gonna
got so
go
much
with
power.
it?
I don't think it is a power play.
I kind of, Hattie, I'm going to agree with you that it's kind of a power play, because if you look at the other richest man in the world, and we've talked about his companies, Amazon and things like that, Jeff Bezos, he bought the Washington Post. He owns MGM. He owns these platforms to get messages out there. Twitter just happens to be the most, I was going to say probably one of the easiest growing ones, because a lot of journalists, a lot of reporters follow Twitter. And I remember when everybody's like, oh, well, you go to Facebook for this, you go to that. And all of us as business communicators are like, you build a Twitter, you also have to build a Twitter campaign, because the journalists who are writing about you are following Twitter more than they're following everything else that you're saying, more so than let's write the old school press release.
Mm-hmm.
But I do, Hattie, I think that, it gives him the platform to say what he wants to say when he wants to say it. I do think that the media was entertaining by educating everybody what exactly a hostile takeover is and what a poison pill is. Hey, when he was invited to sit on the board, you own 9.5 shares, you have a board seat, 9.5%, you have a board seat. And he's like, no, I don't like the people on the board.
It wasn't good enough for him.
Well, I think he wanted to buy a little bit more. But if you are on the board, I think you're capped at 14% of ownership, and he was at 9.6%. But you look at the share price in just 1 month. 1 month ago today, it was trading at $38.43. That's what it closed at. Right now, it's sitting at $48.31. That's a growth over the past month at 25%. The day that he tweeted that he was interested in buying Twitter, which is I think April 1st, or it was announced that he was going to, be on the board, it shot up from $39 to $49 almost instantaneously. I actually am on board with him buying Twitter. I think that Twitter needs to have some reforms. I think there's a major issue on Twitter of limiting free speech, and I think that is not good. Whether you like Trump or not, the fact that he is banned on Twitter is ridiculous. And I think Twitter claimed that it was like a safety issue. And I don't know that Trump's tweets were a safety issue necessarily, especially when Twitter allows the Communist Party of China to post whatever they want on Twitter when people in China cannot even access Twitter, or they allow Russia to spread propaganda on Twitter through, targeted campaigns and bots, or spread misinformation about the invasion in Ukraine. They allow dictators to post on Twitter, people that are committing genocide to post on Twitter.
That's to me, that's a contradiction. If you're going to take control, don't contradict, or don't say this person can't say this, but this person can say this. To me, that's that's contradiction.
But I think that's what Musk wants, is he wants to hold everyone to the same standard.
And I hope that he does, because I don't have a good feeling about all of this. However, whatever happens at the end of the day, whether he gets it or not, we're going to see a shift in my mind of the platform itself as to how it may be used to whatever. So I'm waiting to see what's going to happen, whether he gets it or not. I hope he doesn't, but okay.
I think the rules need to be the same across the board. Here's the rules of engagement. Here's what it is. Let's make it the same all the way across, and let's not cherry pick which times we want to follow the rules, and let's go from there. I think that with him owning it, if he follows that, then I'm all for it. But let's remember the golden rule: not treat others as you want to be treated. Those with the gold makes the rules. And so if he has it, then can he at some point in time be a dictator? Nope. Sorry, Austin. I don't like what you said yesterday. You're banned. Hey, Hattie, you're doing great. Thanks for promoting us on our last Tesla launch. We're going to promote every post that you make. As long as he doesn't play by those rules,
I don't think he will.
I don't know. I don't know.
And here's why I'm on board. I think Twitter needs some changes, like I already mentioned.
I agree.
I think that if you're going to allow a totalitarian government to post on Twitter when they ban free speech, and I thought he had a great retort. One of the board members is part of the Saudi royal family. I can't remember who it is, and he had tweeted that it was dangerous that potentially Elon was taking over, and Elon quipped back and said, how do you feel about free speech in Saudi Arabia? And no response. But here's what I like about Elon. He might be a little quirky, whatever, but he has two of the most innovative and respected businesses in the entire world right now. You ask almost any CEO which companies they admire the most, they're probably going to tell you the innovation that Tesla and SpaceX do. And if he can take, he's been so innovative in that front. If he can innovate on Twitter, it could be a game changer.
I'm just envisioning back in the day of the Steve Jobs, Bill Gates rivalry. Oh, if Steve Jobs is doing this, then I've got to buy this outside of the ecosphere. And I'm seeing that play right now with the modern day Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. Oh, he's got a media company. I need a media company. Oh, he's got a space company. I need a space company. Just one of them's a car company, or a battery company, as one of our guests said, a battery company that poses them as batteries, as one of our past guests.
That's what I said.
and then another company that sells everything under the sun and can get it there in an hour, because I just saw Amazon
shipping centers everywhere. Yeah,
pulled up to my house from something my wife ordered this morning. So I think that's what I'm really sitting back with my popcorn, is just watching these two kind of
back and forth.
Everyone forgets about Richard Branson and his space company. Let's not forget about him.
But I like him.
That guy's pretty nuts too, and it's funny because all those guys are pretty
eccentric.
But you have to, outside of what Warren Buffett, every single super billionaire is eccentric in some way. That's what I think made them successsul.
True. I agree.
So I'm all team Elon. Let's make it happen.
Okay.
By Twitter.
Well, I
want that blue check mark. He's going to verify people, to show they're human. I would love that.
Hey, the Business Communicators needs our blue check mark on Twitter.
Exactly.
So if you're listening, Elon, drop a note in our show notes, please.
You've been listening to the Business Communicators.